Chimbote, with a population of over 200,000, was the worst hit among Peru's coastal towns. With miles of adobe brick and woven cane houses, three-quarters of Chimbote was simply shaken to the ground. Killed under the rubble and in the dust from the adobe were a minimum of 600 people. Thousands more were injured, tens of thousands made homeless. But now, more than a week after the 40 seconds of earth tremors, the relief workers are beginning to get on top of the local situation. The Red Cross in Chimbote only need to provide tents for medical care and treatment. The speed with which Peruvians can build their straw barriadas removed the need for a tent city to house the homeless. Run by local priests, a food queue, with tinned salmon on offer to people from one of the biggest fish canneries in Peru. But the prime need is for water, with all main supplies fractured and polluted and little chance of their being repaired for some days. Even before the disaster, the need for drinking water was great in a town which had grown from a 5,000 to a 200,000 population in 20 years. Chimbote's primitive airstrip is the main center of the Peruvian Air Force for getting supplies and help into the interior, where the damage has not yet been completely assessed. Avalanches have blocked the roads, and DC-3s are the only planes available that can use the short, rough, and hastily constructed airstrips. The planes fly out with food and medicine, and back with the casualties, and the stretcher parties stand by all day. The ambulances go out to meet a DC-3, in from the Callejón de Huallas, scene of the majority of the 50,000 deaths. The casualties lifted off the plane are the few lucky ones, recommended for the flight by local doctors and priests, who will get the first proper hospital treatment after 8 or 9 days of injury. Several of them, even after this length of time, seemed in a severe state of shock from the power of the earthquake, the biggest natural disaster ever known in Peru. Behind them in the Callejón are a series of destroyed towns and villages. Waiting patiently at the side of the airstrip to take their place on the plane with the medical aid and food and general relief supplies, the Peruvian army, which is being flown into the worst-hit towns to maintain law and order. Already an order has been published that all looters will be shot dead. But for the moment, the soldiers wait their turn behind the immediate relief supplies.